There's a kind of violence that leaves no bruises, no scars, no evidence at all. It happens at the dinner table, in the car, right before bed. It's called sarcasm, and it might be quietly destroying the people you love most. Ancient wisdom saw this coming thousands of years ago. The book of Proverbs warned us about the tongue long before psychologists had the research to prove it right. Why does something as small as a sarcastic comment cause so much damage? How can a joking tone leave wounds that last for years? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why gentle words matter more than you ever realized, and how to protect the relationships you care about most. Let's start with a simple truth. Proverbs 15:1 says a harsh word stirs up anger, but a gentle answer turns it away. That's not just poetry. That's a behavioral formula. Every single time you choose your tone, you're choosing the direction of the conversation. Sarcasm might feel clever in the moment, but it almost always stirs up something ugly underneath. Here's where it gets interesting. Sarcasm isn't just teasing. Psychologists actually classify it as a form of indirect aggression. Think about that for a second. When you say something like \oh, nice job / in a mocking tone after someone makes a mistake, you're not being funny. You're delivering criticism while denying you did it. And that denial is exactly what makes it so damaging. This is the critical part. Direct criticism, even harsh criticism, at least gives the other person something to respond to. Sarcasm doesn't. It slips in sideways. It makes the listener feel foolish for even being hurt. They can't argue back because you'll simply say, \I was just joking. That confusion, that inability to defend themselves, is what makes sarcasm so corrosive over time. Now let's talk about what researchers call contempt. Drive. John Gottman, who spent decades studying couples, found that contempt is the single strongest predictor of relationship breakdown. And sarcasm is one of contempt's favorite disguises. When you roll your eyes and say something sarcastic, you're signaling something dangerous. You're signaling that you see the other person as beneath you. You might be wondering, isn't a little sarcasm harmless? Doesn't everyone do it sometimes? Here's the problem. It's not the occasional comment that destroys a relationship. It's the accumulation. Proverbs 18:21 puts it starkly. The tongue has the power of life and death. Every sarcastic remark is a small deposit into an account of resentment, and eventually, that account overflows. Let's move to another major point, the difference between wit and wound. There's nothing wrong with humor. Healthy relationships are full of playful teasing and inside jokes. But there's a razor-thin line between affectionate humor and cutting sarcasm. The difference lies in intent and impact. Does the joke build the other person up, or does it quietly put them down while hiding behind laughter? Here's a pattern worth noticing. Sarcasm often shows up most in the relationships we feel safest in. We rarely speak sarcastically to our boss or a stranger at the grocery store. We save our sharpest tone for spouses, children, and close friends. Why? Because we assume they'll forgive us. But safety isn't a license for cruelty. In fact, the people closest to us deserve our gentlest words, not our leftover patience. Let's talk about children for a moment, because this point deserves real attention. Kids absorb speech patterns like sponges. If a child grows up hearing sarcastic put-downs disguised as jokes, they learn that this is how love sounds. They'll either shut down emotionally to protect themselves, or they'll grow up and repeat the exact same pattern in their own relationships. Proverbs 12:18 says reckless words pierce like a sword, and children have thinner skin than we often realize. But wait, there's more to this story. Sarcasm doesn't just hurt the receiver. It changes the speaker too. Every time you choose a biting comment over a kind one, you're training your own brain toward contempt. It becomes a habit, a reflex, a default setting. Over time, people who rely heavily on sarcasm often report feeling more isolated, even though they insist they're just being funny. Now, here's something fascinating from a communication research standpoint. Studies on marital communication have found that couples need roughly 5 positive interactions to balance out 1 negative interaction. Sarcasm counts as negative, even when it's dressed up as humor. This means one sharp comment at breakfast could take an entire day of kindness to repair. That's a steep price for a momentary laugh. Let's shift to another key point: passive-aggressive speech patterns. Sarcasm often travels with a whole family of destructive habits. Silent treatment, backhanded compliments, exaggerated sighs. These patterns share a common thread. They express anger without ever naming it directly. Proverbs 25:15 tells us that a gentle tongue can break a bone, meaning soft, honest words carry more real power than sharp, indirect ones ever could. Here's the critical part many people miss. Gentleness is not weakness. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings about kind speech. People think that speaking softly means avoiding hard truths. That's completely wrong. Proverbs teaches that gentle words can accomplish what harsh words cannot. You can address a serious problem, set a firm boundary, or express real disappointment, all without a trace of sarcasm or contempt. So how do we actually change this pattern? First, notice the trigger. Sarcasm usually erupts when we feel tired, unheard, or disrespected. The next time you feel that sharp comment rising in your throat, pause. Ask yourself what you're really feeling underneath the joke. Usually, it's hurt, frustration, or fear, not humor at all. Second, practice naming your feelings directly instead of coding them into sarcasm. Instead of saying, /oh sure, thanks for finally showing up, /try saying, /I felt worried when you were late, and I need us to communicate better. /it feels less clever, sure. But it opens the door to actual resolution instead of quiet resentment. Third, rebuild trust through consistency, not grand gestures. If you've relied on sarcasm for years, one apology won't undo the pattern. The people you love need to see a consistent shift in your tone over weeks and months. Small, repeated moments of gentleness are what rebuild safety in a relationship, not one dramatic conversation. And finally, remember timing matters as much as words. Proverbs 15:23 says a word spoken at the right time is like gold. Even kind words delivered at the wrong moment, say, in front of others, or in the middle of an argument, can land wrong. Pay attention not just to what you say, but when and how you say it. As we bring this together, here's the core truth worth carrying with you. Sarcasm feels powerful in the moment because it lets us express anger while pretending we haven't. But that pretending comes at a cost, paid slowly, in trust, in closeness, in the quiet withdrawal of people who once felt safe with us. The ancient wisdom of Proverbs isn't outdated advice. It's a blueprint for protecting the relationships that matter most. Gentle words don't mean weak words. They mean intentional, honest, respectful words that build instead of tearing down. If you want relationships that last, that deepen, that actually heal instead of quietly bleeding, start paying attention to your tone today. Choose the gentle answer instead of the sharp one. Your relationships will thank you, even if they never say it out loud.